One of my favorite things to do to a board game that I truly enjoy and truly love is to get accessories for it. I love to add to the theme to the game. I like to add any immersion, more immersion to the game, anything that makes the game easier to get in or out, to make play or setup easier, whatever it may be. I'm willing to invest in games that I truly love. And for me, by the same token, does a lot of things that I think are fantastic for, again, making the game a better experience, making it easier to get to the table, improving the immersion, improving everything about it. It's one of my favorite things to do. Now, really quick, before we get into the rest of the video, very important note. This channel is sponsored by the Same Token. They have given me free stuff on this channel. I am an affiliate partner with them. So if you look down below, there's a link to get 5% off of orders. That helps this channel, it helps them out, obviously, and it helps you out because you get a discount. Now, they didn't ask me to make this video. All right, they didn't ask me to make this video. I'm making this video because people have asked me from time to time, what should I invest in? Because like currently, I'll show you all in a second. I have like all the hero boards that are out there. I just have these giant things of tokens. I mean, several of these things of tokens. And there's a lot there, and there's a lot to invest in, and people aren't always sure what to get first or foremost. So that's what this video is going to be, is basically me talking about what I like the most, what I would invest in if I was to kind of start again from scratch. So anyway, let's pop down to the table and let's just look at all this stuff. All right, so this is everything I own for, by the same token, for Marvel Champions. It's a lot of things, I'm not gonna lie. And first I want to talk a bit about the hero boards, right? So there's gonna be a lot of different hero boards, some that you may not be able to really find anymore, such as that one. And I think this one you can't really find anymore. I think they're redoing them, or they already did redo them. I'm not 100% sure. But I have a lot of different hero boards. I think they all are great. I think in their own way, they add a lot of extra kind of personality to the game. I think for the hero too, it feels better putting a Spider-Man on this than just like on a blue background. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, you don't need the hero boards. And I guess that's my first and foremost thing, is that you don't need any of these hero boards. It just, again, it's something to me that adds a little bit more theme to things when getting into the game. Now, also the Deadpool one is pretty sweet. Don't even like Deadpool that much, and it's pretty sweet. Now, really quick, there's the big generic one, which is for like the folding cards. But they have, I need to put that on the ground. They have the black generic one. And if you were going to go the route of the hero board, the black generic one is probably your best bet if you really wanted to get these. Again, it's just easier to exhaust cards on if you want to exhaust. If you're doing a lot of token stuff, it's nice instead of putting all the stuff on the card, because cards aren't that big, right? There's not that much space. It's nice to kind of put like all your plus modifier stats and all like your stuns and confuses. Hopefully that's not happening too much to you, or whatever it may be. It's nice to organize it that way. Is absolutely not necessary, but to me, that's the big thing with the hero board. Also, if you decide to use tokens as health, let's say, it's also kind of big for that as well. It's just easier to keep track of everything if you decide to go that route. Now, would I recommend that to everyone? It's kind of up to you. I'm going to be honest. The hero boards are kind of the things I love the most, but they're the most probably not necessary, really. It's awesome design work. I love the stuff they do. Again, I'm really happy I own all of it. But if you're just getting into this stuff, I don't know if that's the best bang for your buck, to be completely honest. What I do enjoy the most is the different dials, right? The hero dials and the villain dial. Now, again, I know I have to peel off the back. So I still haven't peeled the back off. I don't know why I don't do it, but I need to do it. Anyway, so a lot of people say, well, the game comes with dials. Why do you need them? And it's true, you probably don't. One, I like them because they're very smooth, right? These work very, very smooth. If you see a lot of people that use the cardboard dials a lot, like this is all worn away in here, which is kind of sad. But also it comes with like a little bit of a stand. So you can just plop this on if you wanted to, and then it can stand up. And if you're like looking at it, right, if you're playing the game and you're looking at it, instead of like having to lift up the dial each time, I can see, oh, they have 6 health now. Now I know on the top down camera you really can't see it, but as an individual, for me, it's easy to see. They make dials this size. I think they make them a little smaller too. This is the villain size one, and then this is the hero size one. So you can see there's quite a bit of size difference. They are much smaller than the dials that come with, oh, is my focus working? There we go. Come with the game itself. So it is a little bit smaller, so it uses less table space, which is nice. But again, they're just, I think they're clean, they're nice looking. I like them in each of the aspects. Not necessary, obviously. If you just want to get one of a color that you really enjoy, I think that's really cool. Also, in case you don't know, they do come apart. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this, but I don't really care. So it's all magnet based. So the magnets just like pop out and whatnot. So that just fits in there, and then this just fits on top, and it's just all magnets. And you could stack all of them together to like make it easier to transport or whatever. So anyway, if you didn't want to buy all like the damage tokens and you didn't want to do things that way, you can get these instead of getting the hero boards. I think that's a fine thing to do, personally. But yeah, I know some people, again, they're like, the game comes with dials and stuff. Why would I get more? I just think these are much nicer. I think they spin smoother. I think everything is just nicer about it. And again, any expense is an expense, but it's a smaller expense versus getting all the damage tokens. Now, the thing with the damage tokens, let's open this one first, is that you're going to probably want some damage tokens if you invest in it because of damage to allies or minions if you don't go the dial route. So you kind of have to figure out what to do there. Threat tokens, I think, are really good. Again, keeping track of threat of everything. You could use a dial if you wanted to as well and just put a dial up there to keep track of things. That works as well. Now they sell just like the starter sets for damage and threat and generic ones. And that set will work fine for you for the most part. I use it for solo games and two-handed games. Two-handed games, it gets a little tight, but it still works out pretty well. But it can get, you know, a little bit, I can get close to running out, I guess is what I should say. So, all right. So the other big thing I always recommend to people are the exhaust and ready tokens. I currently have 10 for a solo game. This is fine. I recently did a video series that's coming out soon, or has, if depending on when this video comes out, might be coming out around the same time, where I started using a bunch of these tokens, but I started running out on a two-handed game. So I have 10 of them. 10 is enough for solo by far. 10 for two players gets pretty close, right? You might need a little bit more, but 10 I think is a really good starting spot if you want to, you know, buy more down the road. I think that's more than fine. But ready and exhaust tokens are the thing I recommend first and foremost over everything else. And the reason being is because if you have a playmat like this, by the way, I know people are going to ask, GameGenic playmat. This is the GameGenic holder thing. That's what this is. I don't know what it's called, but it's GameGenic, so you can see it, and like all these things like come out, so I can just like hold on to the tokens. It's really nice for that. Anyway, when you have a playmat only this big, especially when you're playing two players, exhausting a bunch of cards takes up a ton of space. It just takes up too much space, in my opinion. Now, if you had a massive table where everyone had their own playmats, then it's different. You can exhaust all day long. If you're like me, though, you don't really have that kind of space. Ready and exhaust tokens, I think, are first and foremost the most important thing. So I recommend, before anything else, you get that. The reason I talk about damage and threat first and the generic counters is because that's what a lot of people kind of gravitate toward first. I think that absolutely makes sense if you want to invest more to buy the same token. But the ready and exhaust ones are probably the best ones. Now, my favorite ones are the token. I just think they're cool. They're exact size of the text on the bottom, but obviously not necessary. Okay, so the X-Men, Asgard, Web Warrior, Shield stuff, I think they're good tokens. I've used them now and again. They're whatever. They're good, but I don't use them as much as I probably should. Then we have in here, we have the when revealed token, or the when defeated tokens. Come on, show me defeated. There we go. These are some of my favorite tokens. I actually want to get more of these, and the reason being is because if you're like me and you're a sloppy player, you defeat a minion and then or a side scheme, you don't really think about it and just move on with your life. It's a quick reminder that, hey, read the card. There's something that's important. If you're a very slow player and you read every word of every card, you should be fine. You probably don't need it. If you're like me and just like to kind of speed up a little bit, you'll probably need them. I have a bunch of the status tokens as well. Again, I really like it for like Retaliate. I think it's the big one because I always forget Retaliate. Sometimes Steady and Confuse is nice. The other ones, maybe Guard and Patrol, aren't bad either. They can help with different stuff. The stat bonus or stat boost ones I like a lot because I always forget to count all my stat bonuses or boosts. So that stuff really helps. So anyway, that's what's in that one. Really quick in this one, we have the status stuff. I like these more than the cards. I know people like the status cards. I don't. I think they're too big on the table and they kind of bother me. It just takes up too much space, especially on the hero card or on the villain card where I'm still trying to read like their stat line and I can't, like, because they have a tough stats, but I still need to know what they attack. So then it moves over. But I'm trying to keep the board game really tight because I don't have a lot of space to work with. Like, it just becomes a pain. So I like the tokens for status tokens a lot. I have 4 of each. Generally, that's worked for me. These are all the circle tokens that come with the hero boards. They come with the board, so if you buy a board, you'll get that. The first player token is nice. I don't have the coin one, but I like this one a lot. The other ones are fine. I think it came in a set, so pretty happy with them. We'll get into this stuff in a little bit and that in a little bit. These I rarely use. I mean, they're fine, but I rarely use them. The aspect ones I rarely use, especially now with the dials. And then the acceleration ones I use all the time because I really like them. And unfortunately, my games go a little too fast. So everything that's left is kind of the hero specific or card specific ones. And this is where people start seeing this stuff and they go, oh my God, I'm going to end up down like just a money pit of things. And it's going to be so expensive. And truth be told, it can be really expensive if you go down that route. Now, here's the thing. Do you ever need to buy these? Like if you wanted them or not? No, you don't need to buy any of them. The generic counters that are in this one, these blue ones, will basically work for everything else in the game. Right? Everything else, it'll work. It's just if you want to add theme. And I'm not going to go into all these tokens if people really want me to. I guess I can at some point, but I don't think it's really worth it. But if you have a hero that you really love playing, it might be worth investing in those tokens for that hero. For example, Novels really likes these pumpkin bombs, right? Also, in case people are wondering, these are Plano boxes. You can get them on Amazon. Pumpkin bombs, right? She really likes the pumpkin bombs. She thinks it adds flavor to the game. It makes the game a little more exciting. It makes it a little more fun. That's cool, right? A lot of those things do that. Or you have Avengers Tower damage tokens, so you can see how much damage is on it instead of using up all your generic tokens, right? Or the Ebony Mall magic counters that you're going to put on each card, right? All this stuff just adds a little bit of theme. Some of it's useful, and well, actually, most of it is for counters and stuff like that. But a lot of it's just, again, to help with theme. Do you need any of this stuff? No, but it's just, again, it's just to add that little extra to your game, and that's why I have all this stuff, because I really just like adding a little bit of theme to it. So anyway, I know we didn't go into every single token, but that would be a really long video to go into each and every single one. I know a lot of people always ask, like, what are your favorite ones? Like, which ones do you enjoy the most? Honestly, the Groot ones are some of the best tokens, I think, because he grows up, and I think that's hilarious, right? That he starts with like little, hold on, wait, focus. Little baby Groot, and then it's like slightly older Groot, and then it's like the teenager Groot when he's kind of like a brat, and then adult Groot. Like, I think that's really cool. There's a lot of detail to that, which is really neat. So I enjoyed that one a ton. Actually, hold on. There's ones like the Psylocke ally for aggression. That's just nice that, like, okay, the decorative confused ally, or a decorative confused token, Psylocke token, come on, you can do it. And then you use it, and then it's confused, right, on the other side. The same with the Hawkeye ones, right? So you have Hawkeye's arrows, you put 4 of them on, and then, oh, there's a 2 damage, so you can flip it over and use it. Like, tokens like that, I really enjoy too. I think they're pretty neat. Past that, I'm not a big fan of Colossus, but I think the Colossus token's the same exact idea, right? So they have like his arm or his shield token that comes in the tough or whatever it's called. I don't play him enough. So you have those, right? You have, like I said, the arrow ones, like all that stuff that kind of does counters and can flip over and stuff for stats, I think are really cool and interesting. Those are some of my favorite tokens. But as far as starting out, again, I think you have 2 main paths that go down. You can either go the hero board route and then get a lot of these, attack or not attack tokens, these damage tokens, right? So you go down the damage token route with the hero boards, and you get, your ready up tokens and your different stats things, and you'll be good to go. If you don't want to invest in hero boards because you think, hey, I'm going to end up getting every single one of them, I don't want to do that, I totally understand. I think it's better to go the dial route then and just having a dial out there. You probably can get fewer damage tokens. You're still need the same amount of threat tokens if you decide to go that route. The status ones are huge. And the ready and exhaust, right, are absolutely massive. So it kind of depends on how you want to play your game, how you enjoy. I've done it both ways, doing damage on the hero board and damage on this. I actually now prefer this, the dial. It's just easier and quicker, and it just, like, I like dials. I think they make a lot of sense. Like, even in games like Unmatched, right, I like using those dials because they make sense versus even a die. Again, I have nothing against the die community. I think it's fine. I use them for Marvel Legendary all the time, but a lot of times, I'll pick it up and it's like, okay, kind of spin it around, making sure I'm on the same one, or I accidentally knock it because I'm clumsy like that, and I have to think, wait, what am I on? So then it's hard to use like a uh, what is it, D12 or anything like that, or whatever, like a larger die, because you don't want to hit it. Dial, like if I hit it, like the number is not going to move, so I don't really have to worry about that. So it's a part of that too. So anyway, are they necessary? No, they're not necessary. Do they make the game more fun, enjoyable, accessible? Yeah, for sure. All right, so this was just a kind of quick video about Buy Some Token. Again, just in case you skipped it in the beginning, I am sponsored by them. Understand that this is a channel that is sponsored by Buy the Same Token. I've invested in Buy the Same Token a long time before they sponsored this channel. So I've paid a lot for these tokens over the years. They didn't ask me to make this video or anything, but this is a question I get a lot of, kind of like recommendation of tokens. Like, what do you recommend I get and not get? And like I said, it really depends on which route you want to go down. If you want to go down more of the dial route, if you want to go into the hero board route, you just want tokens, like it really kind of depends. But to overall summary it, Ready and Exhaust, I think, are your biggest, best tokens. Then kind of your status with your attack and your threat tokens are like the next group, and maybe like the generic like blue counter ones, right? The ones that just have like the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 on them. I think if you got that core set of things, I think you're pretty solid with that. I think they have a starter set bundle with the vast majority of them, with the exception of Ready and Exhaust tokens. It has like all the damage and regular things. You can go on their website. It has that starter set. I think that's pretty good. Again, we use it I think we have that starter set and we use it for 2-player games, and it works fine, right? We haven't really run into that many issues. I run into more issues with Ready and Exhaust, that I probably need more of them. But other than that, no issues. I love the hero boards. I love the dials. So I like to use both, but I get for some people they wouldn't really want to. So if I was to pick, you have to pick one, which one you want to do. For me personally, I'm kind of on team dial right now, but maybe it switches back to the hero board. Who knows? So anyway, like I said, use my link down below to get 5% off your order. You can still qualify for free shipping. It saves you money. It helps out this channel a lot. So I really appreciate it. Give this video a like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. And do me a huge favor. Write down in the comments, do you use Buy the Same Token? Have you not used Buy the Same Token? Did you invest in them because of this channel or not? Or if you want me to talk about specific tokens, if you want me to, I don't know, discuss more of like the specialty ones that go into each hero, let me know down below. I appreciate you all. Appreciate your support. See you all next time.